Hello everyone, this is Franz, International Business Management. The CIBE presentation that you're going to see is regarding the USMCA Trade Pact. This was recently agreed upon between United States, Canada, and Mexico. The purpose of this pact that was recently signed is to update an old trade agreement to really benefit each one of these countries and balance the trade that happens between the United States, Mexico, and Canada. So what this pact is meant to do is not only protect each country's trade, but it's going to boost long-term economic growth for all three countries. In the context of what we study in this class, it has significant challenges to international business strategy. So the impact this pact is going to have on multinational organizations in each of these countries is going to be significant. It's been estimated that the gross domestic product is going to increase to $68 billion. So of that $68 billion boost in GDP, for the United States, it's estimated that exports to Canada and Mexico are going to increase by 33 billion, which is an annual increase of 14% of our GDP. With regards to Canada, it has been estimated that their exports are going to increase by more than 19 billion, which equates to about 4.8 of that GDP that we had also talked about. And finally, for Mexico, what they have talked about is that the exports are expected to increase by 12 billion, which would equate to about 3.8% of that gross domestic product. So for Mexico, what this is going to do is create opportunities in oil, steel and manufacturing, as well as metalworking machinery. And it's also going to allow them or help them to be a more fair trade partner. For our friends up north, the most significantly impacted industries are going to be in computer and technology, which is about $34 billion, as well as lumber, aircraft, aluminum industries, and each one of them stand to have a significant impact as well. And then for the United States, those most significantly impacted industries are going to be the automobile industry with regards to labor and what gets built in-house. And then dairy, which has been banned from sale in Canada, is now going to be allowed. Collectively, amongst the United States, Canada, and Mexico, one of the big highlights is intellectual property, which they have implemented improved protection measures, as well as the ability to enforce those measures with penalties in the event it is stolen. In addition to the intellectual property requirements, they're going to invoke new standards on currency, which is going to prevent unfair practices, devaluation, and it's going to provide transparency between each country, which really is unprecedented with regard to trade. One of the other significant impacts on each one of these countries is going to be that collective bargaining is now going to be enforced. So what that means is that fair wages are going to be required to be paid in each one of these countries. And the final key impact that we're going to talk about is the environmental obligations that have been enacted, which are going to enforce more emphasis on renewable energy, air quality, environmental justice for each one of the countries. So as we've talked about, this pact is going to create a lot of new opportunities, but it's also going to create challenges and force companies to create new capabilities if they want to continue operating under this new pact. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for listening and look forward to your feedback.